Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, 5th Gen Camaro build, and there's a snowstorm outside, so let's get right into it because I've been inside the shop here. Doesn't look like I got a lot done, but I had to Google some of this stuff just to make sure. But we did go ahead and actually get the panels out of the back ripped out here, got the floor and everything. Gonna leave the battery in for now, just because if I need to pop the trunk, I don't have to crawl in to pull the release lever. Did that once already. Back lower seat, the back. Interior panels for the back, got the carpet, got the seats, the center console, all that stuff ripped out of here. And you know, I was thinking that main battery cable there, the red one, that'll be nice to keep because I think we'll keep the battery in the back or up in the front section, but we can always shorten that up, so that'll be nice. But basically what I need to do now is we're going to lift this thing up, got it all gutted out. We're going to keep the door cards in here, just so we can hopefully keep the door window switches in there and keep all the dash in there. Maybe Adam will jam out while he's doing burnouts. But yeah, I want to keep all that stuff in there. I'd really love to have a motion lightweight steering column and a steering wheel, but well, it was on my Christmas list, I guess, and it didn't show up, unfortunately. So, but anyways, get this the rest of the way, cover the dash up, lift it up, and I think what I'm going to do is I've been kicking around the idea. I've got 2x3 tubing, but I don't have enough to do the rear section. I've got 2x4, but I just think it's going to be too heavy. You know, a lot of these people are building it out of tubing, round tubing, and I've got probably 7 or 8 pieces at 20 foot long. So I'm thinking about bending something out of that. We can always add extra braces. I'm not worried about weight, really. It's just it would be a lot easier. I can, the bender's somewhere underneath the floor where it bolts up. I could just bend things the way I want to bend them, add additional supports in there, put additional X braces, whatever the case is. Then we could still tie into those factory spots. Unfortunately, where I mentioned in the last video where the gas tank bolted, coming straight back is not an option. So we'd be coming straight back, cutting at 2 angles, and I just don't want to have to deal with that. So I think next up, tomorrow, we'll see how the storm plays out. We're getting 12 inches of snow right now. We'll see if that pans out and I go to work. If not, I want to be out in the shop here, and we'll probably get the bender out and start bending some stuff and see if we can make something happen back here. Man, that's either really thin metal, which is probably the case, or one really damn good blade.
Harbor Freight, isn't it?
I think so. Must just be really thin metal then. All right, well, just like that, the whatever you want to call that, spare tire section of the trunk's out.
And battery holder.
Oh yeah, and yeah. Well, we lost that, but we're gonna have a fuel tank, and what our catch tank back here. Mm-hmm. We're gonna start putting our oil catch tank, overflow tanks in the trunk now. So yeah, we got our 2 tubes in there. God, it almost looks like they're halfway the same. Yeah. Yeah. All right, well, we'll lift it up. As you see in there, we got the 2 main tubes bent and coming up into there. Had to tweak one of them just a little bit. Again, nothing very professional, right, Jason? That's professional. That's professional enough for us. So got those in there. Now we got to work on a couple cross tubes, and we really can't do a whole lot, unfortunately, because we need a rear end to know where like the shock bar is going to be, where the 4-link bars and stuff like that are going to fall. So I think we'll lift it up. We'll do a couple things just to brace it here. Maybe a tube at the back across from these. And then we can work on a few mounts as far as tying this tube into the side and maybe see about wrapping something around here, but we'll do that now. Morgan reminded me there was something in the shop here that I never did mention or give away, but I signed this back on 12/27 right after Christmas there, and I was going to put it in a video. Oh, and Jason signed it. We better not forget that. So it's worth probably less, but I got that belt there, so I'm going to give it away. Comment, like the video, and share. That's all I ask. So we're going to give it to one random person. I'm going to check, make sure I'll run the comments, and like the video. I don't even know if I can see if you shared it, but if you would, please share the video. Make sure everybody can see our stuff. But yeah, comment down below, guys, so you can get a belt. Let's keep working on this. Jason's going to be here soon. I wonder if he's a little sore from that skid steer accident. We'll have to talk to him. All right, let's get to it. Well, Jason's over there studying that on the ground. Are you learning anything, or?
Stuff is tight, looks like.
Ow. You're saying that like maybe it came apart at one point. Did we really get anything done over here tonight? We did a lot of looking, a lot of talking. But I did get, I think that was done before when I had Morgan recording. Got another one on this side, and then we did make some spacers for here and got a couple tubes on there. And, you know, actually, if you stand back about 20 feet, they actually almost kind of look the same, Jason. Those ones did come out pretty good, honestly. How many times did we make them? A couple for sure.
Oh, yeah. Not as many as that bar was.
Yeah, that bar was the worst. But yeah, no, those are tied in. So now we're just trying to figure out everything we're doing as far as, you know, you're probably thinking like, what the hell is this bar doing here? We don't really know. What is that bar? I mean,
looks cool.
I think the intentions are we're going to tie something between these two, and one of these is going to come across above. I don't know. There's going to be bars going every which way.
Another mounting point here. So.
Oh, to keep the frame from? I think we were worried about the cradle we're putting in, not the car frame. So yeah, somehow this bar needs to, it's here for support of the rest of this tubing. But basically the main thing is when we tie these together and we put some kind of bar across the front up here, obviously missing the drive shaft, for the upper and lower 4-link bars. That's the biggest thing that we need to tie into. And I'm not sure how strong these two plates are that are sandwiched are going to be. So that's why we added this and tie the two together. So now we went ahead and we figured out, Jason took the inner fender wells out, the plastic. We're going to have to cut this out, which gains us, what is this, 1.5 inches? I think about 1.5 inches right here underneath. Worst case, we might have to take this little hump out right here, just cut it out and plate this section back flat. But I think we've got a rear end measurement done, and that'll leave us not very much room, is there? Tire's gonna have like what, 3 inches up there as we stare into those bright LED lights.
9 inches is where the outside of the tire, burnout tire is.
And what do we got there?
13.
That's like 13 minus 9. That's 4, I think. So 4 inches from the outer, and this is the furthest point out, though. I mean, it does go in here. So, and same with the rear bumper.
Yeah, so that'd be right here. There's the 12 inches. So
lose 1 inch there. Story of your life.
Well, how much we lose over here?
About the same.
Can't really tell, but I'd say the same. Yep.
Yep. So we'll probably do something inside of here. Is that what you're thinking, Jason? Maybe.
Yeah, because I doubt this is, well, especially back here with the bumper.
Yeah.
You're gonna want something from here.
Yeah, we're gonna have to bring some kind of plate down inside of here to, I don't know, tie this to it or something. But some thicker metal, give it something to keep blowing tires. Blowing bumpers off, I guess. So keep it off the wall. That'll help. Anything else? Okay, well, from one extreme to the next, guys, here's what's going on and why I've been contemplating what we're doing here and why it's not going to work. I'm going to try and go over this real quickly, so bear with me. All this work that we just did is going to get torn out, and that's why I don't know how much of the footage you just seen, if I put any in there, if I didn't. You're not going to know what I'm talking about, but we got all these bars put in. But here's the situation, you know, from this frame down to here, is 1 3/4 inches lower. Now, when I took a measurement from that wheel arch to the center of the axle down here when the rear end was in there, it was like, I wrote down 16.5 inches. Putting a level from this out the end, measuring down, we have 2 inches of travel for that rear end, which is not going to work. And, you know, looking at this independent rear suspension, I understand how it worked now. Didn't really look at it before. But as you can tell, their upper A-arms, they're kind of like having a drop spindle in a car. So that allows the wheel to be up further, even though the pivot point is clear down here. So, yeah, that's unfortunately not going to work. So here's what I'm contemplating, and I think we're going to do it. How we're getting it out, I don't know. Take everything out that we just put in. This main rocker is like a main structure for the car, and obviously this car is in good shape. So that means all of this structure and all of this structure, which includes the bumper, unfortunately, gone. So I think at this point I'll probably cut it here. We'll have to put some tube braces up inside the trunk area just to make sure all this stuff doesn't have any issues. And then once we get this removed, the plan will be to basically do like a more of a true back half, excuse me. We'll get this out, we'll take a 2x3 all the way from the rocker here and bring our drop piece like we normally do. And then we're gonna take tubing, I think. At this point I'm thinking tubing, we're gonna come up off the 2x3, angle it up, angle it way up into the trunk, angle it back down, and then flat out the back to connect to the bumper. And obviously there's gonna be a lot of triangles and, you know, geometric shapes in there to help support all that, triangulate it, and make sure nothing moves. But I think this is going to be the best situation, because what we're doing here, like I said, 2 inches of travel, it's not going to cut it, guys. So if we want to ever take this to the track, which, you know, I would like to make this more, could go to the drag strip if we wanted to, just to mess around even. Obviously it's going to require a cage at some point, but let's make the back half somewhat right. I'm not going to say we're going to do it right, but we're going to try. So that's where we're at. So start spot drilling some spot welds, maybe the plasma, sawzall, whatever we need, cut off wheels. Let's bust all the tools out, get some stuff out of our way here, and start taking all this work that I did put into it back out, and let's see where we can end up at. Well, saved to the boredom, guys. The old stuff is ripped out. Went ahead and just cut up some of those tubes, placed them in here. Again, this is just all temporary, so don't judge. But welded something to come back towards the taillight area, down to the main frame. Just had a bar that I had, I just threw it in there to keep them together. We just want to make sure that this back rear section does not shift. I mean, you have a quarter panel tied to a roof, glass, rear deck lid, all that stuff. The bumper's still in there, so I don't see an issue. Now it's time to use Jason's Blue Point mini hole saw kit that he was so kind to leave here. Just got to take a center punch, which I have, and a hammer. I tried it out on a couple pieces underneath. Worked slick. I drilled one, and that leaves holes obviously, and then that piece there, I actually used that hole saw thing on. It worked pretty dang slick. So time to lift it up, and let's start chopping everything off from in front of these tubes forward, and see what kind of nightmare we're going to get ourselves into. Well, Sunday in the shop out here, and things escalated very quickly, as I stated. And some of it was caught on GoPro, then it died, and I didn't have time to go grab another one, so I just kept working at it. So here's where we're at with our complete mess of a Camaro. Things are looking, I'd say things are looking up, but they're looking worse and worse. I've been trying to get these pieces out of here, trying to cut, and I think what's happening here is there's a few layers of steel, and one of these layers is actually underneath of the floor. So yeah, not ideal, because I did go through here and drill out a bunch of these, tried prying it off, and that's, I assume that would be the case, but yeah, I can't get this layer because it's all sandwiched under here. So unfortunately for the car, that is, I think we're gonna bust out the plasma, because I'm out of Sawzall blades. I don't really feel like, I don't know, I don't feel like using the angle grinder. And the plasma is just as fast, if it's faster. So let's bust out the plasma. Let's just start chopping away. We're gonna whittle away at this and cut pieces of that out of there, see what we can end up with, and hopefully not destroy everything. Well, let's bust it out and see what happens. Let's not burn anything down. Let's make that our goal. So I should probably move that seat sitting over there. It should probably take a gander inside the rest of it just to make sure, even though we're down here, you know, sparks might fly up there. So move some of this stuff and then drag it out, and let's see what we can do. Well, you know, I decided before I got out the plasma to give a shot at cutting. So basically, I cut a little section of this hat channel off, I guess we'll call it. That way I only had to drill a few of these instead of taking this whole piece out. So once I removed that, as I suspected, this floor piece is over top of that channel. So I went ahead and got this hat channel out of the way, and then I was able to just lightly cut the floor piece, skin that off of there. And then right over here on the rocker, there was a few spot welds. Obviously they continued down, but that channel piece kind of came in like this, and the only place that it touched was right up here. And just like that, fell out. Now I did get smart and get the air hammer out, because I was just, you know, using a crowbar and a hammer and trying to peel underneath of all this. So I just took the air hammer and just right underneath, peeled it off, and that one is good to go. So hopefully, you know, usually the second one goes faster than the first one. It's probably been, I bet I've been screwing with this for an hour and a half, so maybe I'll set the camera up quick here and show you on this one what I did, and then we'll go from there. But this does give us a nice surface, what I was anticipating there would be. Nice smooth surface for our drop tube cross member to go from here, from driver's to passenger side. All right. Oh, look who showed up!
Hey, fellow boosters!
We got a pile of metal, and we're gonna lift the car up here.
We don't know what we're doing.
No, we really don't. Here, let me lift it up, and you can take a little peek and see
I'll do that.
see if we're on the right page, maybe.
Okay.
You know, they always say things are looking up, but
I'll be looking up. Oh, that's all gone. What are we doing here?
I don't know. Don't be getting hurt. It's kind of sharp in there, but Carl, where's the red go? Well, we know where it's supposed to go, but how's it going to get in there now?
What are we doing here?
Well, that's kind of the thing. We really don't know.
You got the tripod in there, though.
I mean, one thing we do know,
Yeah.
we cut a lot of stuff out.
I see that.
And look, I accidentally cut this. Dad said this was kind of important, but I said it's a little too late now because I already cut half of them off.
You know, this is the most rust-free car I've seen at BoostedRide shop in how many years now?
What, you're saying that one there is kind of rusty?
Not bad. We spent a lot of time on getting it to look like
The only thing that was
We
rust.
spent 37.
What did we figure it was? A 45, 46?
Yeah, 40. Just say we spent, how many years is that, 60?
We'll call it 69.
Now that took us 69 years to get to look like that. You tell us anybody else that can do that.
Yep.
We'd still be living.
Exactly.
Still be living. So okay, back to the story, what we're doing here.
Well, that's just that we really haven't figured it out. This was supposed to, I cut this
was
too.
Was this part to try to get it to start?
Yeah.
You couldn't get it, you couldn't get it to start, so you started tracing everything back?
Yep. And then I found this wiring harness here that was cut.
Yeah, I see that.
So,
that
we gave up.
That must be it.
No, we're gonna, I just got done taking these two little pocket things out, this thing here.
What?
And then we're gonna cut this right across here.
What?
We're getting rid of it.
Scrap that high now?
Yeah. Car weighed too much. So we're gonna add one of our, remember like your truck where we added that drop piece?
I remember that.
Yep, we're gonna put that from channel to channel, and then we're gonna start putting a back half tubing section, just like the Ford dump truck.
When's that coming back in the shop?
I don't know. I bet there hasn't been much getting done with that.
It's a windy bunch. And nobody's wants Wendy's bunch.
They're kind of windy.
Yeah. Well, you got to be in the windy with her.
Yeah.
You gonna put that back? You gonna put that back underneath then?
Nah. I think we're beyond that point.
I
think we're L screwed-o, guys.
Those my bucket seats.
Oh, yeah. Hey. 35 Ford truck seats. You want the rear bench that came out of here, or you want bucket seats? Judy would probably like a bucket seat.
Yeah.
All she wants for Christmas is a bucket seat.
And hell, I'll give her the bench seat too.
Yeah,
Put that down in the. She might get a little warmed up someday.
All right, well, we better keep cutting away.
We better party off.
Well, it really wasn't as bad as I thought. You know, once you get in here and you start getting all them spot welds and stuff removed, you know, stuff kind of falls apart. So, you know, probably really to get these inner fender welds out, do it the right way maybe and go around and drill all the spot welds. I don't know if I'm going to or not. I mean, I don't know. I'll give it some thought. We'll put it that way. It does make it a lot cleaner, guys. So I didn't have to bust out the plasma. Didn't have to worry about, you know, blowing holes and stuff. I did, however, actually with the air hammer, punch a hole right through that, which was kind of interesting. But got the plates welded in. Tube is tacked, and I just put a few more welds on this. I don't think I want to weld any of this up, just in case there's an issue. I don't anticipate one, but at this point, that's all measured up, tacked in. I need to figure out exactly how narrow we're going to go on a rear end. And I guess I don't even know if I touched base. The whole reason this all started is because the tire was literally going to be 2 inches, 3 inches in from the end was all. And I'm worried about, you know, these quarters that are actually not bad, especially after I sanded that rear section of this one. You know, I don't really want them to get all beat up. And then obviously, you know, the second reason is because, well, we couldn't fit anything in here deeper to begin with, but the other main reason was because we were going to hit these frame rails. I could have possibly worked around that, because there are companies that make kits that bolt right in there. Like I said, Mosier makes it, and obviously they make it work. So I'm sure we could have done something, but I just did not. You guys know, I hate that raked look, and I did not want that to happen on this machine. I want this to hopefully be a quality piece when we're done. And I think this will give us the opportunity to put a nice set of 4-link bars in here. You know, I don't think I'm even going to do triangulated since we've got all this gusseted. I think I'm going to stick with either like a wishbone style or a diagonal link coming down like we do on the rest. But we have a great base to start with. We're going to need to probably just order a roll cage for this. I think just to be safe, order a 10 point that's going to come down, attach. I'm not sure where it'll land, but hopefully we'll be able to attach it to this cross member piece and feel a lot more comfortable about that being plated. This brace in here, you know, all this is a lot stiffer and stronger, thicker, I should say, than what was originally in here. You know, this stuff nowadays, it's all pot metal. But I think that's going to do it for this one, guys. I don't know where I left off, but at the beginning of this video, I'm sure I said something about the blower belt, which is sitting over here. So, like the video, comment, you know, share it, guys. Help us spread the word. And we'll see you guys in the next one. We're going to keep going on this whirling stuff. I'm going to call Quick Performance to get a rear end. I already got some measurements over here on the board. Get a rear end ordered and have them rush it if we can. So I know the guys over there, they'll try and do everything they can to help me out, and I appreciate that, Quick Performance. So until next time, like, comment, share, and subscribe, guys. We'll see you in the next one.